Not so much how often he talks, how loud he talks, but what is he saying? Is he only talking about himself, or is he talking about God? The way I carry myself comes from something that is more than I can hold on to. Is he showing how he's mighty and powerful through all the things he's done, or the way that he does those things? These are the things we want to look for, ladies. Welcome to the Dear Future Husband podcast. I'm your host, Christian Bevere, and I am so glad that you are here on a Thursday if you're watching in live time, praying for your future husband or your husband if you're already married. Today, we are going to tackle confidence. Now, you may be thinking, yeah, if he's my future husband, he needs confidence to approach me, to have that Riz, short for charisma, as the kids are calling it this day. But no, we don't want to talk about that type of confidence. We want to talk about a godly confidence today. And we're going to talk about what the difference in those are and how to pray in a way with an actual prayer template we'll give you at the end, and how to bless your husband in that way. Now, let's dive into that. What's the difference in these two types of confidence? What's the type of confidence I should be looking for? I want to give you this analogy. If you were a fashion designer and you came up to my husband, Arden, and you said, hey, here's a top of the line designer outfit. I want you to wear it. It'll look great. Try it on. He would have about 0% confidence in it. Not because he's not the most attractive man, statuesque and dark features with curly hair. And, he's got the look. That's not what's lacking there. But he doesn't have the confidence to wear something trendy. He's like a sneakers and gym shorts kind of guy, does not realize how handsome he is in a nice outfit. Compared to a guy walking a runway, his confidence would be less. But if you told him, hey, I want you to go share a word with this church somewhere you've never been, in a large gathering of people, and I want you to go do it like right now on the spot, he would have so much more confidence in that because he knows that he can rely on God. And even if he was nervous, didn't have a pre-planned message, like whatever it was, he knows my strength does not come from my own strength. It comes from my reliance on God. It's in the humility of knowing that I'm just a vessel. It's knowing that I give my best and that's all I can do. So I'm going to go forth with confidence in that way. That's the kind of confidence that I want us to bless in our future husbands and men. If you're watching, because I know that more and more of you coming to this channel, which we love, that's the kind of confidence I want you and your future wife needs you to carry. Now, am I saying you can't have confidence in how you look? No, obviously not. I think my husband is so attractive and so gorgeous, but it's this confidence of knowing the personhood, the character, the way I carry myself comes from something that is more than I can hold on to. It's not just how I look. It's not how I talk. It's not my status. It's not my career. It's not my last name. It's who I am. It's being a son or a daughter of God. Stay with me past the Christian-y stuff, but truly it's an identity issue. When we feel like we have to prove ourselves, but what we can obtain or layer on, that's when confidence can be almost up and down of like, some days I feel on, some days I feel off, which we're all there. Hello, that's me. Some days I'm like, oh, I look good. Oh, I look like I haven't slept in 3 days because I have a newborn. You know what I mean? Like that kind of confidence is fleeting, is up and down. Some days it's on, some days it's off. The same with if you do want to have confidence in dating, some days you're like, man, I'm on my game. I talked to that person so well. I was smiling. And the other days I had something in my teeth and I was shy and I was bashful. However, we can carry ourselves and conduct ourselves and interact with other people should be from this place of, you know what? I'm going to have godly confidence. I'm going to try my best. I know who I am. I don't have anything to prove. That means I'm not going to be flippant with how I present myself. I'm not going to be one person one day, another the next. I'm just going to be me. And I'm confident that that's enough. Doesn't mean I'm lazy. Doesn't mean I'm not working on myself, trying with my physique, with my looks, all those things, applying myself and my talents and career. But that's not what proves who I am. Those things may change. My looks may change. My career may change. But I know that I'm staying rooted in Christ. That identity never changes. Godly confidence will look different than expected, especially if you're a single lady dating. It might not be the first thing you notice about someone, but something that you notice more and more the more you're around them. This is a countenance of faith, Corinthians tells us, that God's strength works best in our weaknesses. So when we even just take a second to be misunderstood or to be vulnerable, to not try to like prove ourselves right off the bat. That can be uncomfortable, but that's where our true confidence shines. See, I believe that God's power and his mightiness and his kindness and his love works best through the people that are willing to be vessels, that are going to boast more in who he is than who they could be with striving. Let me say it this way as a punchline. Worldly confidence looks like cockiness, but godly confidence looks like humility. I want to read us 1 Corinthians 1:26-29, which says, "For consider your calling, brothers. Not many of you were wise according to worldly standards. Not many were powerful. Not many were of noble birth. But God chose what is foolish in the world to shame the wise. God chose what is weak in the world to shame the strong. God chose what is low and despised in the world, even things that are not, to bring to nothing things that are, so that no human being might boast in the presence of God." Now you're listening to this, and I know you're thinking, okay, God's just saying I'm basically nothing. I mean, honestly, we all kind of are without him. But this verse is talking about the apostles and the people of faith and those that we would look to and say, wow, they did such amazing things. They must have been so bold, so courageous, so confident, so mighty and so esteemed. These men were actually at one point the lowest, or the people that would have been passed by in consideration of someone that would lead a mighty life that would be written about. But God saw something within them, something that he could mold and use and put his power in rather than them using their own. So this is actually a compliment. If we are willing to hold a godly confidence, that means we're willing to hold ourselves in less esteem than God. It's almost like this positioned mindset of, I don't have to think that I'm less than, but I think less of myself. Does that make sense? I think of when Paul says, I'm the least of the apostles. Like, these other guys are so much better than me, where I'm sure some of them, if we were in a modern day context, would be like, no, bro, you got bit by the snake and lived. You talked to the authorities as if it was nothing. You're doing really great. I'm behind you. But it's this idea of I'm not going to boast myself up in my mind. I'm not going to get conceited, because that's when pride oversteps humility and we almost forfeit some of the goodness and the blessing that comes with humility. I think of Daniel, how he knew, hey, my power is not of my own accord. This is from God. This is God's power that I'm just tapping into. When he interpreted the dreams, when he did the fasting, he knew, hey, in my weakness, I am strong because I'm relying on God's power. That's confidence, and that's humility. True godly men are mighty, not meek, but also they're humble, not haughty. So if you are looking for a partner and you're a single woman getting asked out, don't go for the guy that's like oohing and awing all the women and like knows a perfect thing to say and comes up and is like, oh, I drive this and I do this, and like whatever the thing is nowadays. I've been out of the dating realm for 7 years. I don't know what the pickup lines are, but I do know that sometimes the maybe shy, but maybe just also understated, not as boisterous man may actually be the more godly, confident one. And this isn't an extroverted, introverted thing. It's not so much how often he talks, how loud he talks, but what is he saying? Is he only talking about himself, or is he talking about God? Is he talking about others? Is he showing how he's mighty and powerful through all the things he's done, or the way that he does those things? These are the things we want to look for, ladies. And more than look for, we want to pray for. We want to pray for our man to walk in these now. Even if he's getting his baby steps, like let the Lord start developing that in him. So one, we can notice it. Whenever he does come along, he can be identified by his fruit, but also so he can be leading others in a way that shows the goodness of God, that shows that God's power is at work in our lives, and he can just be a testament to the gospel and that loving kindness of Christ. So I'm going to lead us in this prayer. It's in the show notes below if you want to rely on this and jot it down, start praying over your future husband. We have a couple of these in our playlist called the Pray for Him. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're on podcast, hi, hello, that's great too. You can go back to our other episodes and find the dedicated prayer topic episodes. I want to keep bringing these to you so that you have prompts and starting places and topics as you are praying for your future husband. Again, you can do this if you're single, dating, engaged, if you know you're about to get married or you're not sure if you ever will. You can still use these prayers because faith is both a practice and a promise. And I want us to start tapping into those whenever we're in a season of expectation or anxiousness. Prayer is our first response, and we can take confidence that God hears our prayers. So here we go. Lord, I pray for my future husband's confidence that he would be found in you. Show him how to walk in humility. Tether his self-assurance to your design. Like young David with his slingshot, grant him confidence in what you have placed in his hands. I rebuke insecurity and fear of man, and in its place ask for humility and courage. Make him an example of godly confidence, bypassing the superficial and resounding the internal virtue that you place within him, so that his very being glorifies you. Thank you so much for watching. And hey, I'm so proud of you for praying through this season, praying through the waiting, using prayer as your tool and your point of reference for this desire. And I can't wait to see how it impacts your singleness, how it gives you gratitude and vision, or even how your future husband cries on your wedding day when you show him all these prayers and letters you've been writing for him. I am so excited that this community is growing and more women are tapping into this. So would you do me a favor? Would you share this with a friend or subscribe so that we can keep reaching others and creating more of these prayer topic videos? And if you do that, then I will see you next time, next Thursday on the Dear Future Husband podcast. Bye, guys.